Chains of oppression don't necessarily have to be chains. And currently, with everything going on in the world, that chain has become a face mask. This is supposed to protect us from this virus. I see it as a chain of oppression. For example, since they've been telling us to wear these things, people are being silenced left and right. You have the CEO of Facebook and the CEO of YouTube banning and censoring people's opinions and thoughts on their platforms because it doesn't coexist with the plan. These masks were only the beginning of a long line of shut up and obey. And I don't like it. They're telling us if we want to go back to work, we have to wear these. They're telling us that we have to stay 6 feet away from people. How can you do that when you work in a fast food joint, standing right next to other people who are making your food, if you can call it food anymore? The people who were impacted the most from this were people who did not work in the mainstream job industries, such as warehouse, grocery stores, retail stores, shipping and delivery. Well, at least not all of them. My girlfriend just told me today that her job basically is they laid off a lot of people until October. So that now means both of my daughter's parents don't have a job. And we're expected to go file for unemployment, which many patriotic Americans don't want. They want us to take these stimulus checks. They want us to get on unemployment. Why? So that they can continue to hold over the fact that we need them. They want to hold over the fact that without them, we will not survive. We have a man who started his fortune by making computers and computer programming software and hardware. You all know who he is. And now we're to look at him to be our savior in this. Get my vaccine. Don't worry, we're not implanting you with a chip. We're not trying to track you. China's our friend. And we have a president doing everything he can. Everything he can. Besides the one thing that I think he could do. He could literally say, enough's enough. Reopen everything. Give back the jobs that technically I'm saying China took away. Because when you look at China, they don't have fun. Every picture that I see, every video that I see of China, they don't look happy. They look miserable. And plus they've been wearing these face masks, God, seems like forever. And we always blamed it on their pollution. However, because we buy everything from China, I mean, hell, this hoodie's probably made from China, for all I know. The toys my daughter plays with are from China. Everything that we take for granted is made from China. pretty much. As I stand here looking out in my backyard, in the backyard that I'm in, my grandfather's backyard, because I was forced to come stay here, I see memories. We live right next door to an old elementary school. It closed down a while back, but then became a youth center for minority children. And ever since then, it's been a headache in this neighborhood. Plague, really. Pretty much like the plague that's ravaging us now. And I only bring this up because in my 38 years of living, this area used to be a beautiful town, beautiful neighborhood. No problems. I never even so much as saw a cop roll through here, let alone an ambulance or a fire truck. But since this all went down, since this lockdown started, that's all I've been seeing. Police cars, ambulances, fire trucks. I just heard several gunshots last night. I'm trying to find words. I'm trying to come up with an explanation as to why and how we let this all happen. And of course I blame China. I blame our democratic society. All the bleeding hearts who are so caring for people that are not family, not friends, not kin. They seem to care more for total strangers than they do their own lives, which in a lot of senses is admirable. But in a lot of other ways, it's foolish. We have people protesting this now, breaking the quarantine laws and going and protesting the lockdown. I am one of them. We're dying. We had our politicians say for years that it's our fault. They're saying that it's our fault that all this bad stuff happens. All the mass shootings, all the drugs, the violence. They blame us. But yet they never stop and think that it might have been their policies and their rules that brought us to this. Which they did. They themselves have turned whites against blacks. They themselves have made us bitter and angry. So much like the people in those poor people in China that don't like living in a communist country, they're just as equally as mad. We need to cut China out of our lives. We also need to cut dangerous politicians out of our lives. And you all know who the ones I'm talking about. They sit up there in their ivory towers, fanning themselves with $100 bills, going, ah ha ha ha, look what we did. We're making this country safe for us. We're dying, and they don't care. We're suffering, and they don't care. They're punishing us to make their lives better. and reward themselves with the spoils of war. Because that's what this is. This is a war on our freedoms and on our liberties. So I beg you, President Trump, straight up, do the right thing and say those words. Reopen now. Everyone who's lost their job because of this, give it back. Give us back our jobs. Give us back our lives. Because isn't it funny how right after this all started, Amazon and Walmart and Kroger and all the other big box stores that got to stay open during all of this suddenly have thousands of jobs to hand out. They're the ones who get to stay open. Yet we can't go camping, we can't go fishing, hiking, kayaking, boating. We can't go to the parks. We can't go to amusement parks. We can't even leave our own homes without wearing our chains of oppression. It starts with silencing your people. Because once you've silenced your people, you can control them. I'm Ravage, and I hope you all are watching this. Heed my words. The worst is yet to come. I'm Ravage. Thanks for tearing it up with me. Until next time, see you later.